What's up, guys? Welcome back for episode 2. We had a name change. We are now the Buffalo Bills Bourbon Room. Dad and I are amateur bourbonists. So, regardless if the Bills win or lose, it's always nice to follow it up with a bourbon. So, today we are drinking. What are we drinking today, Dad?
We're drinking 3-Chord.
3-Chord. Tell us a little bit about that.
This bourbon is actually made by, not made by, but Neil Giraldo, who is Pat Benatar's husband and guitar player, makes this bourbon. And like Zach said, by no means are we connoisseurs, but buddy of mine brought it over and it's good. I like it. And so if I like it, then I drink it.
That's all that matters. And the best kind of bourbon is free bourbon.
You know, and after what happened yesterday, I think we need a little sip.
I think we do too. I think we do.
Digest the horror of yesterday.
Yeah, that was rough. Before we get into what happened over the pond, quick shout out to my Uncle Jay. He makes these glasses for us. Go check him out on Facebook, WNY Glassman. He's got a bunch of cool glasses. He even does some stained glass stuff. So check him out. Does all kinds of stuff, custom stuff, whatever you need. He'll be able to do it. So the Buffalo Bills lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday, 25-20 in London. And they did not look very characteristic or what we were used to from the Miami game. So the first thing that comes to mind was the travel arrangements. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars were there for 2 weeks. They played the Atlanta Falcons the week before. And the Bills didn't get there until Friday morning. And in my opinion, I think that is the reason why everything went the way it did.
Yeah, and right after the game, you know, McDermott said that we were sluggish. We didn't look like we were into it. And he was asked, do you think the travel had a reason for that? And he was like, of course, he's never gonna throw anybody under the bus, but he said we need to reevaluate. And I agree with Zach. They flew out Friday, got there Friday, stayed up, practiced. I mean, if anybody goes on vacation or travels, I mean, jet lag's a real thing, and it's just very disappointing that this billion-dollar organization really screwed it up.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys or you have, Dad, seen it going around Twitter. Roger Goodell is doing an interview.
I saw it.
He goes on to talk about how the Jacksonville Jaguars will be there. And he uses the word experiment to see if a traveling team that comes in with less rest, who has not been there as long as the other team, to see how it goes, if they can be competitive. Now, in my opinion, this isn't something that you do to a professional football team in the middle of the season. The cost that the Bills have paid to go over there and play that freaking game is tremendous. It's ridiculous. I can't even. So first off, Daquan Jones and Matt Milano, season-ending injuries in the first drive of the game. I mean, we're
Well,
Kermit classified it as indefinitely, but I mean, if we're going to be realistic here, they're not going to play this season.
And that, if there was one guy who we needed not to get hurt, nothing. Daquan was he was rated as their best defensive lineman from last week, but Matt Milano is an absolute killer, backbreaker.
Huge
Guys
problem.
probably, of course, I'm a Bills fan. I got to say, I thought he was the best linebacker in the league. I mean, I know Barnett and San Francisco, but that's huge for us. And Taron Johnson, after the game, said the turf was shit. Yep. He said it was a joke. And he twisted or he did something to his ankle, foot, but he was fortunate enough to come back and play. But and getting back to the travel, I saw a sound bite from ETN from the Jags, and he said that the Bills looked like he felt during the game last week when they played in London. He said they felt like crap. They were fortunate enough to win, but he said he came flat out, said there's no doubt that played a big part in the way the Bills played. It was just, and so Baltimore and Pittsburgh are playing over there this week. They're there today.
Oh, so
it's on the league for doing this, leaving Jacksonville over there for 2 weeks and having us. But the Bills also could have and probably should have went over there Monday and give the team 5 days to acclimate themselves to the time change. And I know McDermott said he talked to his sports science.
Who is that? What is a sports science team?
I don't know, but that's what he said. And like I said, he's not going to trash anybody because that's not his way. But they screwed up. The Bills screwed up there. Yeah, they got screwed on the scheduling, but no way do you show up a day before or a day and a half before with a 7-hour flight, 6-hour time change, 6-7 hour time difference. They were horrible in the first half of the game.
Yeah. Anybody who has traveled with a time change, whether it's 2 hours or 7 hours, it takes a while for you to get used to that time change. And athletes need consistency and sleep to perform at the highest level. So their job is their body. So sleep is such a big part of recovery. And I think that is another big reason why so many Bills players were getting hurt. Nobody from Jacksonville was down on the ground the whole game. Nobody. And so the Buffalo Bills had 14 penalties called against them in the first 4 games of the season. And they had how many? 11, 12?
I'm sorry.
And the type of play, what kind of players commit penalties? Tired players that cannot perform the way that they want to. So what are they going to do? They're going to hold. They're going to try and cheat some way to get an advantage. And, the refs over there were throwing flags like I've never seen. Oh, my God.
You could probably call a penalty on every play somewhere on the football field. But for some reason, they seem to our corners and our secondary get flagged more than anybody. And, part of it is they're holding or they're grabbing, but they went a little bit overboard. I mean, you got to let them play. I mean, it's Yeah, that officiating crew really was
And
a lot of flags. A lot of flags.
so many. The one that really stands out to me was the targeting call against Jordan Poyer.
That was a joke.
Like, what is he supposed to do? He has to assume that the receiver catches the ball.
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing? And like, it's not like he hit him in the head or anything. He was falling at him, and oh my god. Luckily, they didn't get any points on that drive, but the Bills, they still almost freaking won that game. That was probably one of the worst games I ever seen them play, and they still almost won that football game. And Josh still went crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought the play calling, they once again they go into this 2 tight end set and they throw 2-yard passes to friggin' Kincaid and Knox. It's I mean, Dorsey, I don't know if he knows how to handle it.
I don't understand. Go ahead.
I mean, in college, I just happened to be checking shit out. Kincaid averaged 13 yards a carry or a reception. He's averaging 6 yards with us. Last year, the last 4 years, Knox had averaged 12 yards per catch. He's averaging 7 yards per catch. It's these, and they do it a lot. It's like that's not going to do it. And the running game was horrible.
The running game was terrible.
Again, if there was ever a game where they should have just leaned on Josh, they should have just did it. But they kept trying to run the ball and throw these little swing passes. Throw the damn ball down the field. When was the last time he friggin' threw a bomb? Throw the ball down the field. Diggs is open always. Gabe's usually open, but of course he dropped one yesterday right in his hands.
That was a bad one. And he's been better with that this year. But so that they were in the shotgun like 80% of the time, which they've had tons of success with Josh under center with the 2 tight end set. But I think what happened was they couldn't establish the run game.
Nope.
So Dorsey was like, well, we're just going to go back to what we did last year, which didn't work. Every snap they were in the shotgun, every single one.
And it said so they only ran 5 play action plays yesterday, and all were completions of 15 yards or more.
Right.
And then they don't do it. If it's working, do it. And
right.
I'm listening to GR, and then you got Tasker, and the game plan's already set, and there's certain things that you need to do. You can't just go out and change the whole game. Bullshit. It's not working. You're in desperation mode. Do what you do. Throw the damn ball.
If I was Ken Dorsey, like, I understand that you're trying to be keep them guessing. You don't want them to know what you're going to do, but you just steamrolled one of the best teams in the NFL last week. I'll do the same thing. The Jags are nowhere near as good as the Dolphins. So just go and do the same thing. You don't see Patrick Mahomes doing anything different. He throws it to Travis Kelce every play. It works every single week.
It's sad. It seems like I got to figure out different ways to do this. And I mean, last year we were so stagnant. I mean, since after week 6 of last year, I mean, when Josh hurt his elbow, I don't know, and he was throwing picks, and I don't know what they told him, but there was times yesterday again where he could have taken off. He did a few times, and he didn't. I'm not sure if they're telling him don't do it, but you're in a game that you're supposed to win, and look at they went what they went 90 yards in 3 plays. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
you can't
mean,
keep dicking around. You got to do what you're best at. I mean, some days you don't have that running game, which was yesterday, and just
right.
air it out. Not these 2-3 yard passes to friggin' the
Well,
tight ends, and it was
but
so
I mean,
frustrating. They just were, and
so
as like we said last week, they can't have a letdown in London, and of course, which they've done every year. They lose some stupid game to a crappy team, and they let everybody else back in it.
yep, they do.
They would have won yesterday. They're Miami's 4-1. We're 4-1. We
You
beat
got
them.
the tie
We
break
got
on
the
Miami.
tiebreak. Now everybody's in it. The Bengals are back again. The Jags are 3-2 and they beat us. It's and in my opinion, I'm telling you, the coaches have to have them ready.
Yes, I agree.
They have to have them ready. You can't have these players come into the press conference and say, well, they were ready to go and we weren't. That's horse shit.
That is horseshit. That is horseshit. You can't like they showed the sideline a million times yesterday. Josh looked like he was dead. He looked like he was dead. That whole sideline had no juice in it. The defense had some juice. I got to give it to them. The defense had some juice, and they played their ass off to try and keep them in the game. But time of possession was like 40. What was it? 37-15. The Bills' offense was only out there for 15 minutes. I mean, you can't expect a defense to be out there for 3/4 of the game and to keep it close like that. Like at the end of the game, they're going to get tired, which is what happened. ETN broke that one off. Yeah. That's what happened.
And the thing is make no mistake, the offense lost that game. The defense, absolutely. They stepped up when they had to. Epinesa was an animal. And the offense, you can't. What do we have? What was the score at halftime? 11-7.
Right.
We had one touchdown, and they look like crap.
I know they went 3 and out for the first 2 drives of the game, and they punted the first 4 drives of the game. Can't happen. That can't happen.
No.
Like
not if you're going to be up there. I mean, it's nauseating how we do that. We play like world beaters, and then a week later, we act like we don't even know what to do.
Yeah,
I don't know. The travel was part of it, but the coaches have to get them ready. They have to expect some sort of, okay, we're changing time zones. We got to keep them energized, and they weren't. I mean, at no time were they in control of that game at all. It was 60 minutes. The Jags were in control the whole time, and we had spurts, where we, like at the end of the half when we strip sacked Lawrence, they were going in at least for 3, maybe 7, and we get the ball in the second half in the kickoff, and what do? Nothing. Punt. It's like,
I know, and it's just they look like a different team, and the only thing that I can attribute that to is having to travel the way that they did. Like when I heard that schedule that they were going to fly out Thursday night, fly the whole way, watch film on the plane, then not go to sleep, practice Friday, and then have 2 days to try and figure it out.
Then you got Saturday for the walkthrough, and Sunday's the game.
So what time was it there at 9:30 in the morning?
They're 6 hours ahead of us. Well, it was 3:30 in the afternoon when the game started, I believe.
Yeah, and these guys, you're there 2 days. They don't play football at 9:30 in the morning, and that's what it felt like for them. 9:30 in the morning. You don't wake up and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go get pounded by a 300-pound man right now." Like, it's just that was a huge coaching error. Huge coaching error. You just can't do that.
And also, once we did, we we're down to our second string corners, and I mean, Kyer Elam, I don't even know what to say about him.
I do. He's wasting a fucking roster spot. Get him off of the fucking team. He got abused by Calvin Ridley. It didn't matter if he was open or not. You just throw it over there. Calvin Ridley's going to get it.
Yep.
Kyer Elam was nowhere to be found in the shot.
Nope.
Like, what are you doing, guy? What are you doing?
And I'm watching the press conferences, and oh, well, he hasn't played in 4 weeks. Do you know why he hasn't played in 4 weeks? Because he stinks. That's why. Because he can't make it on the field, and now we're stuck with him.
Well, one of the reporters
he's a
asked,
first-round draft pick, and they don't want to eat crow because they screwed it up. They need to do something. They need to get a cornerback, or we're in big-ass trouble.
No. They need to do something in the middle of the season. They need to have that all-in mentality because, we hear it all the time.
Just like the Rams did,
Right.
And they went out and got Von Miller. We still are a good team. We're a very good team, but the injuries are eating us up, and if they don't do something now, me and Zach both saw on Twitter, it looks like they signed Josh Norman again. I mean, I don't even think he was in the freaking league.
There's no way he can play snaps. There's no way he can play snaps.
It's on Twitter. Bills signed Josh Norman.
I saw it on Twitter too, but like, what is he doing? Like, what is? That
goes to show you how bad Elam is. If they feel the need to go out and get Josh Norman,
they need to go out and they need to trade for a fucking top corner. I don't care what it is. Trade them picks, trade them whatever. Go get Patrick Surtain. They're tanking over there. They suck. Sean Payton came out and said, we will listen to trade offers for anybody on the defensive side of the ball. Anybody. They'll give them away.
Picks. And the thing is, I mean, he's been known to pull the trigger, but
never during the middle of the season. Never.
Well,
I have yet. I mean, Sean McDermott does a good job during the offseason and everything, but during the season, I have never seen him make a blockbuster move to keep the team in it. It's just like, all right, next man up mentality. We need our guys to step up. But I was telling Tori the other day, like, starters are starters for a reason. Nobody is going to come in and fill that spot as good as it was. Nobody's going to come in and fill Matt Milano's spot. Nobody's going to come in and fill Tre'Davious White's place. You had a side of the field that you didn't have to fucking worry about. Now you got Micah Hyde trying to run with Calvin Ridley. Like, that's a problem. And teams are going to know that. They threw the ball at Kyer Elam the entire game.
You don't think that their offensive coordinator said, throw it at, what's his number? 24 every time.
24. He stinks.
They used him. Finally, they took him out. Thankfully, they took him out. And then they went to a practice squad corner and put him in. And, I mean, it's not like I'm not used to this. Like I said in the beginning, I've been a Bills fan for 50 years. And, this shit happens to us. It just does. We got a good team. Defense is top, 3 or 4 in the league. And now our top corner goes down. Probably the best linebacker in the league goes down. Our top defensive lineman goes down. And we're scrambling,
Well, Christian Benford was out, so he should be back. Who else was a who else was a scratch?
Rousseau.
Greg Rousseau.
It is, but I mean, Epinesa
He
stepped
played
in
good.
for him. He played great.
Yeah, he did.
I mean,
And
I don't think it's the defensive line. I'm telling you,
no,
it's the secondary that's going to
it is.
kill us.
It is the secondary. And I mean, we got Vaughn coming back. He was on a pitch count. I don't know what it was, but obviously they ran through him by the halftime. So because you
Yeah,
were
he
in a
was
half.
absent too. I never seen him even sniff Lawrence. But
But
he's coming off a knee injury, so it's going to take him a couple games. But, we got the Giants coming in who they really suck.
I know.
And
So it could be,
Sunday night football, I mean, the Bills, they got to get right. They could still run 4 or 5 more wins off, but this game, all they needed to do, just win by 1. I didn't even care how. Just get out of there with the W and thank the Lord and come home. But they couldn't do it.
honestly, what really fucked it up kind of was that they started with the 2-point conversion. And you were always just 1 point out of reach. Like you couldn't go down and score a field goal and then score a touchdown or vice versa. You had to score 2 touchdowns, which then you're scrambling at that point because fucking Tyler Bass can bang it in from 60.
Yeah.
All day
No
long.
doubt.
And Josh can get you to the 40-yard line.
He's a
No
weapon.
problem.
And there was early in the second quarter we had 3rd and 1 on our 41 yard line, I think it was. McDermott, old school punts. I mean, the way it was going, what the hell? The defense was holding them. You gotta take a chance. Spark, do something. Have Josh sneak it 1 yard.
They were so shot. Like, so on that one, it was like I think it was 3rd and 1, and they did the fake tush push, and Josh bootlegged out to get the yard. He was running like he just woke up. He was just
Well,
kind of like.
Well, how about when they went for we went for the 2-point conversion. He threw it to Shakir. There was he was like trotting. I'm going to score 2. And that guy, their cornerback came out of nowhere and stopped him. It was like, dude, run.
I know.
He caught the ball and he looked like, oh, I'm just going to stroll into the end zone, and they got him.
I like Khalil Shakir. I do. But that play should have been with Deontay Hardy, the fastest guy on the team. You don't take any chances with that. You throw the ball, that guy's got to fucking get on his horse immediately.
Well, that's that goes back to my problem with Dorsey. I don't know. If they don't start throwing the ball to fucking Kincaid 15 yards down the field, something's wrong. Because Kelsey kills people like that. And it was all training camp. Oh, we're going 2 tight end personnel. The guy's like a wide receiver. No, they got to double Steph, or they can't double Steph. They're going to have to. He's going to be wide open. We're going to hit him. What did I say? 6 yards a catch. 6.
Well, how many? So he was supposed to be our Cole Beasley to open up the
they
field.
Don't even put him in the slot. No.
And he doesn't. They need to give him the option route to go left or right, run down the field 7 yards, go left or right, catch the ball, run to the open spot. Who cares? But because Diggs is open. There was a couple times that game where it's like
he dropped one too, though. How about the one where he got wrestled? The bomb. He did throw the bomb there, and it was right there too. It was a good throw by Josh, and the guy wrestled it away from Steph.
I'm sure you saw everybody's like, oh, Stephon Diggs hates being in Buffalo, and he hates Josh Allen because did you see him slamming the iPad?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, they're making a big deal about it, and I'm 99% sure he's watching the film of the pick, and he's probably saying, I should have fucking had that ball. Like, because he went into the presser afterwards and was like, my quarterback gave me a shot, and it's got to be mine or nobody's.
Yep, he did say that. Yeah, that the crap with him. The only thing, I mean, he's just like me or you. They lose games they shouldn't they shouldn't. And
Mm-hmm.
it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
and just because he shows it doesn't mean he doesn't like being here. It just shows that he's
right.
passionate about winning.
Nobody said that about Tom Brady. If Tom Brady wasn't winning, he was losing it on the sideline. Nobody ever said, "Oh, Tom Brady hates it in New England,"
Yep.
until obviously the
Yeah.
end. But like, that's how winners act. Nobody likes to lose. You don't want people on the sideline going, "All right, guys, we'll try
Well,
again
we're losing,
tomorrow."
so it's I really am. They should have traveled earlier. That was a mistake. I
That
don't
was a
care what
mistake.
McDermott will never tell you that. He won't do that, but it doesn't even make any sense why you would do that if you think about it.
It
Why?
doesn't. It doesn't.
Why
Like,
wouldn't you take them over there Monday morning and just practice there the whole week? I can't figure that out.
right. I do think that if you get there on Monday, you could be acclimated by the following Sunday.
Sunday. Absolutely you can.
And I don't
Absolutely.
know whoever their sports experts or sports science experts are, they better be fired because what did they do? They Googled when is a
They
what's
wouldn't
that?
even fire Frazier. They had to put out this fake statement that he was taking a year off. And
That's true.
they just don't do that. That's why they won't do it with Dorsey. They'll give you this shit. Oh, he's only in his second year, and he won Coach of the Week last week. Well, he didn't win the Coach of the Week this week because he had no answers.
I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, but I know everybody we're quick to blame Dorsey, but
I am. I'm
those
just going from his body of work. Since Dable left, offense ain't been the same, bro.
well, I mean, against Miami, that was a phenomenally called game, and I think that when he does have a game plan, like they said, right? And I think that if it doesn't work, he's lost.
Yes.
Like he
There's
had the
no
game plan.
adjustments being made.
No, it's the same. Like he had the game plan for Miami and it worked.
How
So
about-
it was flawless.
How
But
about
then you go over here to the Jags, and normally James Cook, give it to him on first down, he's going to run for 6 yards. That wasn't happening. He was running for a yard. Now
Not
it's
even.
2nd and 9. Then I think he's like, then I don't know if he's like has a backup to like what the original game plan is. And that's what makes a good offensive coordinator. Somebody who can adjust to the defense.
When was the last time you saw us throw a screen? Why can't we throw a screen pass?
They don't throw the screens.
I mean, how about when McKenzie was here, the jet sweep? I thought that's what they got that Hardy for.
It is.
Why don't we do that? Watch, Kansas City ran it like 6 times in the first half last night, and it just Now there's a guy, Andy Reid, who knows how to call a game. Granted, he's been in the league for 25 years, but we don't have any of that. I don't know. It just seems so vanilla to me.
Well, we've got a defensive head coach. So
and he's doing a good job with the defense. He needs to get somebody.
Right, but the thing is Sean McDermott trusts Ken Dorsey with everything. Ken Dorsey is the top. Ken Dorsey doesn't report to anybody. Ken Dorsey doesn't say, "Hey, Sean, what do you think about this play?" Sean doesn't give a fuck. He's a defensive guy. His defense is top 3 in the league. That's what a defensive head coach is supposed to do. You need to be able to trust your offensive coordinator to handle situations like that. And like the Jets game, he can't make those adjustments. If you're initial game plan is not working. They need to figure out how to adjust, and they just and I know that execution was a little rough because of the travel. I'm not a guy to make excuses, but like you have to fucking make that excuse. You have to, because we've all traveled a couple hour time difference, and you're not right for a few days. You're just not, and we're just walking around on vacation. They got to go fucking play football.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel the need that for them to they got to push the ball down the field a little more. I don't understand the mid yardage routes, 15 yards down, instead of these little dink and dunks to friggin', like I said, the tight ends, or throw it to the back who comes across the middle. But you got Josh, and you got guys that should be open. You need to utilize if you're going to do the 2 tight end thing, you need to do it right. And
right. And Deontay Hardy needs to see the field, because that guy has some freaking wheels. Because, I mean, this is twice now where we've seen him catch a ball. He's so wide open, he has time to catch a ball, fall onto the ground, get up, and juke a guy. Now, in the NFL, to be that wide open is ridiculous. So throw him the ball, see what he can do,
and
make it happen.
I really like to see what we are for yards after catch in the league. I gotta believe we're all the way at the bottom. We have to.
Well,
nobody ever takes off. We never get a pass where he throws it across the middle and somebody runs 60 yards with it. It just don't happen. It just does not happen.
All right, let's see here.
Well, while he's looking that up, like I said, they got the Giants coming in. I mean, Dable's coming home. He's actually from here. I think Daniel Jones is banged up. So Sunday Night Football, we got to put on them.
They got to go out there and score 50.
Did you get the yards after catch?
I'm having problems finding the yards after catch here.
Pretty sure it's not good.
Here we go. Let's see.
Usually they catch the ball and get tackled. The one
which they said was supposed to be a point of emphasis. Yards after catch. We want to throw it where he can keep running.
Who's this now?
This was something that they were talking about all off season.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I can't find it.
Okay.
But that was rough. That was rough.
Oh, I could hardly watch, but I did. Like I said, it's happened many, many, many times before to me. And I mean, I don't even know. Hell, they could make it to the Super Bowl, but I don't think anybody's beating the 49ers. They crushed Dallas last night.
Yeah, they did.
And I mean, it's always, with us, when we were back in the 90s, the first Super Bowl, that's the only one we should have won. Technically. Yeah. The Redskins were at that year were the best team, and then the 2 years after that, Dallas was. And now we run into buzzsaw in Kansas City for 3 years, and we got to deal with them. And which I'm telling you, they're beatable.
Did you see that? Did you see that on Sunday?
Well, did you? When Kelsey twisted his ankle, did you hear Collinsworth? Oh no! Oh no, Travis Kelsey.
What about at the end of the game with the non-call pass interference, and then he takes his helmet off? The referee tells him to put it back on. That is a 15-yard personal foul penalty, automatic first down.
Yep, I mean, you see the ref telling him to put the helmet on. There's no debate about that. Helmet comes off, penalty.
Penalty.
15 yards, not
Right.
because it's Kansas City.
Right.
And you tell them, hey, man, put your helmet on or we're going to call a penalty. No.
No other team is getting that
The
treatment.
damn
None.
breaks they give that team.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I'm just frustrated with the whole deal right now.
I know. But that's 2 weeks in a row that the Chiefs got bailed out by the refs. 2 weeks.
Yep. They always manage to squeak. But that's the thing that we don't do. They always manage to win them games that they're not supposed to, and we don't. We always screw it up somehow. I mean, last year, if you want to go back to last year, the Minnesota game, we were winning by 20 points and lost. It's just things we do. It's mind-boggling why, but we do. That's why people, a lot of people think we're, pretenders because we win a lot of games, but we lose games we're not supposed to, and then we shit the bed in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I don't want to be that guy already, but
no, me neither.
Somebody new. You might need somebody new at the helm. Just saying, you might. You gotta
get over the hump. That's what everybody's saying. We're there, we're right there, but we can't get over the hump. And if you keep not being able to get over the hump, what do? You got to change something. You can't just be having this team that goes 13-3, every year and loses in the playoffs. It's just, it's just.
I don't know. I don't know. Some people just know how to win, and some people just don't. And they, it's. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a diehard Bills fan.
Oh yeah, that's why it bothers us so much.
Frustrating how we do this. I can't even hardly talk when the game's over.
I know. I was so upset. Oh God! And if they would have stopped them, if they would not have let fucking ETN score that touchdown, or if they would have batted that ball away, that fade route to freaking Calvin Ridley, they went down the field in 20 seconds? We would have been winning.
That was a great throw by Lawrence, though. He laid it right out there.
It was a great throw. Perfect throw. Oh, lucky.
Yeah. We were right on his ass, too.
I know.
You're paying $250 million for Josh too. He's got to be able to bring us back in some of these games that.
They gotta look different on Sunday. They have to look like.
Oh, they will. They're going to be at home. It's going to be Sunday night. I don't know. Daniel Jones is hurt, I think, or
I saw that Dable said
something's up with him.
A neck injury, but Dable said I think he's gonna.
Yeah,
I think he can play.
But they're not very good.
No, they're terrible.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
They're terrible.
With it being Sunday night and after the way they played, I find it hard to believe that we can't come back and beat the Giants.
All right, guys, we had some technical difficulties there. My computer died. Not ideal. Typical of what happens during a Bills L week. Everything fucking sucks. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you liked, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Buffalo Bills Bourbon Room at Bills and Bourbon on YouTube. Drop a like and a comment. We had 16 views on our first video, and we have 5 subscribers. So slowly but surely, we'll get out to the Bills Mafia.
Yeah, and We're just doing this for fun, but we'd like to maybe hear some feedback of some of the things we say. And, if anybody likes bourbon, 12
Yep.
or give 3 quart a try. It's not too bad.
Yep. There's always a good reason to drink some bourbon.
Yep.
Cheers.
And hopefully we can, get a big dub against the Giants in Dable at home on Sunday Night Football this week. So we'll be talking to you after that, and enjoy your week.
See you guys.
See ya.